Yeah. Okay, let's move to my gas or pass.
All right.
So, my gas or pass is going to be the EarthQuaker devices Dispatch Master.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the reverb and delay combo. It's got, the reverb is supposed to be based on like a tank reverb, so like a spring tank reverb.
Spring or plate?
A tank.
Okay.
So I believe it is a spring reverb.
Okay.
It's also got a delay in it, which is a DSP delay. So it's not like some analog chip or whatever. I think it's got like 1,500 milliseconds of delay. So it's got a long delay in there if you want it. It's all in that one small pedal enclosure. And the new ones have top-mounted jacks.
Right.
Which is really nice. So is this a gas or pass for you?
It's definitely a gas. I say that. There's hesitation. So
It's $199 new, by the way.
yeah, that's pretty cheap for reverb and delay.
I feel like it.
Now, I'll say that digital delay is not always my favorite.
Okay.
Just me personally.
It's DSP, though. So with DSP, they can make it sound like analog. They can make it sound like tape. They can make it sound like anything they want. It just means it's done on a digital processor,
Okay.
right? So it just means it's made out of digital so they can extend the time and stuff without having a bunch of chips in there. So I'm not saying it sounds like a digital delay. I'm just saying it is digital technically.
Okay. Well, that doesn't really change how I feel. So I like the idea of reverb and delay being in one. I'm glad it's not in a big enclosure, kind of like the Keeley Caverns.
Yeah, or the Flint.
Yeah, or the Flint. Like it's in a small package, great for a grab and go board. I love that idea. I just don't know how practical it is for me. I don't think I necessarily need that. I'm getting an HX1. I'm going to check that out here. That does pretty much anything I need it to. Now that's one effect at a time. So
And it's large.
And it's larger, but it has a lot of functionality to it. I think it is great for like a mid-size rig. For instance, like a Z-Rec or a Marshall Studio. Like it's great for that mid-size rig that you have that on your board at the very end and you just use it as you need to. It is a little weird how I kind of wish like, I don't know, the switch you could somehow hold for reverb only or something, or you know what I mean, like, or add delay, like click it twice in a row to get the delay on or something like that.
Yeah, I think there is like a hold function on it, but it's like for big ambient swells of reverb or something. It's some type of effect like that. It's not to actually switching delay or reverb on or off. To do that, you've got to reach down and turn the knob.
And see, part of me wishes like it was just a quick, like I don't want the enclosure bigger. I just want, I guess, a little more features.
You want it all.
I want it all.
I feel the same way. So I got a question. So do you put your slapback before your long delay, or your long delay before your slapback?
I put my slapback at the very end.
Okay, so that's good for you then. So for me, I put my slapback before the long delay. So
this doesn't work for you?
Well, I mean, it could work. It would just switch up where my delays are falling, but it's less ideal for me because I like my slapback before my long delay. Because then the reverb's kind of in the wrong spot, right?
Right.
Not wrong. There's no wrong spot, but for what I prefer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag for me here. Because I do like the idea of it. In theory, it should work really well. But for like my Marshall and stuff, I would really like to have a little slapback and reverb with it. But I just don't think I want it in one small box where I got to turn a knob.
Have you tried the slapback at the end instead of...
I've definitely tried it at the end. Yeah. And it's okay. I just prefer it on the other side. It's not like something that I totally hate. So I wouldn't be completely opposed to throwing it at the end of my board. But I also kind of, I like the idea of if I really want a reverb for my Marshall or for like a Z-Rec or for something that doesn't have any reverb, maybe just tossing a reverb pedal on top of the head, just running a small cable here and then out to my board. So then I don't have to worry about the reverb on my board for whenever I've got an amp that already has reverb in it. You know what I mean?
I get it. Or get
one of those Fender tank reverbs and throw them on top of there.
I guess the question is,
Evo reverb.
Do you want a Dispatch Master?
No.
No?
No.
Even though Tom Bukovac says it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tom. I take his word, especially when it comes to gear, I take his word a lot. It just doesn't work for me. Like it just doesn't make sense. And even though it probably is a great pedal and probably is awesome, it just doesn't really fit my rig the way I'm running it now. Maybe in the future I'll feel different.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's a pass. I would like to have one just to have laying around, but I'm not dying to have one on a board. It wouldn't be living on a board right now. So for that reason, if it's not going to move to my board, I guess it's got to be a pass.
Okay. I would say if it was feature friendly, similar to how the Keeley Hydra is, instead of tremolo and reverb, you did delay and reverb and 2 switches on it, I would really like it.
Yeah.
But since it doesn't, I'm good.
Okay.